What is up guys, Express here, I'm back with another tutorial. Now this time we're creating another logo, but we're going to create a logo in Photoshop. So I get a lot of likes and a lot of requests on how to make something like this. Now this is a logo that I made a while back, and I thought why not make a tutorial of it, because it's a really nice logo and I think it will do well with the community. I think a lot of people will spice up their own logos in this way I'm going to show you. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So what you want to do is go to File New, and make a square. So it doesn't matter what size. I normally do 1920 on 1920 and the resolution of 300. So I would do something like this on 300. Now the thing is, with this size, with the width and the height, you get a square, and it's just a basic size. So if you want to use it for YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, it is. For YouTube, it has to be below the 4 megabytes, and with this, it normally is. If it isn't, change the resolution to 72. Make sure you have below 4 megabytes. So what you want to do is, I have a couple of Japanese fonts. If you don't want to have it, this just like a Japanese style that I went for it. But if you don't want that, you can still just go for a regular name. But I'm gonna do that with the same style. I'm just gonna make sure the background is black because I want a white text. How I fill it in, that quickly you can see on this handy little program that shows you my keystrokes. I just did an Alt backspace to fill in the background. I think these keystrokes are a bit handy. I got it from an ID from a viewer, so thanks for that. And if I go too fast, just pause the video and rewatch it, because I'm going fast in Photoshop because I'm good with Photoshop. I know where everything is, but if you don't know yet, just pause the video, look at it again, and yeah, just try to keep up because I'm going pretty fast. So what you want to do, change your color to white, and we just want to type something. So it doesn't matter what you type, maybe your name, maybe your username on something, I don't know. I'll type Express, and what we have here, we have some Japanese fonts. This Japanese font, I'll probably put it in the link in the description as well. It's the first Gundam font. If you want that, link is in the description. Oh, you just want normal text, no caps. So type whatever you want. I'll type Express for this tutorial. Purpose, my text is a bit too close to each other to my liking. You want to put a nice gradient on top of your text. So double click your text layer style and go to gradient overlay. What gradient you choose is up to you, but Photoshop 2021 has a lot of nice presets for this, for gradients. So just find something that you like, but it's up to you really. But I like to have a subtle difference between the colors. Like something like this, I really like it's you can see it a bit, but it's not too much, if you know what I mean. That is it for that. Now you press OK, and you want to duplicate your text. I'm first gonna make my text a bit bigger, like so. Okay, put that there. Duplicate the text with a Ctrl J. You can see in the left corner also what I'm doing. Text, I guess. You want to first remove the layer style of the bottom text, and you want to move the bottom text a bit downwards and a bit to the right, like so. Okay, now you can really see what is going on there. Okay, you want to make a new layer between those two text styles. You want to go to your polygon lasso tool. If you don't have your polygon lasso tool here, just hold in your mouse button, your left mouse button, and go, and then you'll see these three options, and go to polygon lasso tool. Okay, now you want to have your color on just on white, because your text is white as well, and you can see this little area needs to be filled in, and you need to do that on everything. How I filled that in is with Alt backspace, and a Ctrl D is to deselect your selected area. Now you want to do this on the whole text. You want to fill in that little space so it looks 3D-ish, and that is what we want to do for the next couple of minutes. So just fill that in like so, and do that around the whole text. Well, I'm going to speed this process up, and I'll see you guys when it's filled in. Okay, so what you want to do is merge those two layers. So you want to just merge the two bottom layers. So your text layer and your layer that you just put your filled in all the spaces. With a simple Ctrl E, double click that layer and go to color overlay, and you want to fill in that color with the same color, of course. But just, I'm going to make it a bit different so I can see the difference between those two layers. And what you want to do now is make a new layer again and merge those two layers again, so there's a normal layer. Well, on the first thing, I put a lot of shadows everywhere, but you don't have to. But I'm going to just show you and also do that on how to create those little shadows. Make a new layer and on that layer you want to take your brush with a darker color of the same color. Then you want to just select your area with the polygon lasso tool, like something like so. And then you just want to take a brush and make it a bit smaller and just do a little dab like this. And then you're probably thinking, well, what is this? But you make sure that your layer is a clipping mask, and how you make a clipping mask is pressing Alt and going over between those two layers, and on the layer just click once with your mouse button and you have your clipping mask. And you see, if you go over it, it just stays in that specific layer that you clipped on. Okay, like so. So what you want to do is go over everything, or every left side of the whole text, like do something like this, and then you want to take your brush and then dab a couple of times, and you have this little effect that I did. So you can dab everything up with a specific color so it has a more 3D effect, but you don't have to. It takes a while, but I think in the end it looks way better. And I'm gonna speed this process up, and I'll see you guys again back when I've done this. Okay, now we're back. I filled every little single. I'm just gonna lower the opacity a bit. If you did the same thing, it pops out your logo 10 times more than it already is. Now what you want to do really is duplicate your first text, like just the Ctrl J, and then you want to just double click, remove the color overlay, and remove the grain overlay and put a color overlay of a black. And then you want to move the layer all the way down, like so. And then you want to just go with your arrow keys and of course with your move tool all the way down. Let me see, yeah, all the way down and to the right, like so. Then you have a little shadow, and you want to do that maybe 5 times. You want to just duplicate that, move it down, like so. Duplicate that again, move it like so. That you have your the same 3D effect, but just less 3D because you have little edges popping out. But that's just easier than filling it in again, and it just looks pretty nice in my opinion. Now what you want to do then is you want to just duplicate that again, go double click on your text, remove pick a different color overlay. I'm just gonna pick white. I'm gonna move that text all the way down again, and then I'm gonna do the same thing, move it like so, move it down again like so. And then this you want to do like 10, maybe 15 times. Just duplicate that, move it down, duplicate that, move it down, and then you have a nice sick effect in my opinion. So move it down like so. Duplicate with Ctrl J, move it down with arrow keys. We're gonna merge everything now together. So select everything that you just made by clicking on the bottom one, holding in Shift, and clicking on the top one. Ctrl J, Ctrl E. So you duplicated everything, so you still can edit the previous thing that you did, and then merge everything with a Ctrl E. So what you want to do then is what I did is a Ctrl T, and I went to a skew. It's just maybe a slight skew. That looks really nice. Also, I'm going to select all that we did and put it in a little map and make sure you can't see that anymore. Okay, what I did then is made a new layer, put a clipping mask on top, so hold an Alt and go above the layer that you want a clipping mask and press once with your left mouse button. Then you want to go to your brush and take a nice color, or nice vibrant color of the same color. So I've taken like a orange kind of color, but you can now take a vibrant orange color, and you just want to hit a couple of dabs on your text like so. And then you want to put that on a overlay or a soft light. I'm going to put it on overlay and lower the opacity a bit. I want to make another new layer, clipping mask again like so. Then I want to make the brush a bit bigger, and I want to take a different color. So maybe something that fits orange. I'm gonna go for a red like so. I'm just gonna color in the bottom side. So, and then I'm going to put it on overlay again, and also going to lower the opacity a bit like so. See the difference. Then on the top I want to do the same thing, so clipping mask, but at this time I want to pick white and just want to color in the top. Then also want to put that on an overlay like so and lower the opacity a bit, but that's basically to pop out the colors a bit more. Now what I did then is merge those layers with the clipping mask, Ctrl E, then double click your layer and put a stroke on that. Okay, what stroke color you want to do is something that fits the orange or what color you have. If it's something blue, maybe pick purple. If you have something green, maybe pick yellow or orange. And I'm gonna pick something reddish, or maybe yellow, orangey. Maybe something darker for the first one. We're gonna do another stroke, but then with a lighter color. I'll pick something like that. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller, the stroke, like so. And then I'm gonna make a new stroke, like so. If you don't have 3 strokes, I have 3 strokes, but you probably don't have that. You click on this little plus area and you have a new stroke under the styles. So what you want to do then is take another color. I'm going to take a red, purple-ish color. And I'm going to make it a bit bigger so it pops out the other stroke. You can see I'm going to change the color. It doesn't really fit now. Or you can do the same color that's inside the text as well. I think that pops out a lot as well. Looks pretty good. Now what you want to do then is duplicate that again, so Ctrl J, and move that text also a bit down and to the right. Like so. Then what the first layer I want to do is I'm probably going to do a drop shadow. So go back to the first layer or first text, put a drop shadow on there, make the size really small, make the opacity around 50. It's visible, that's not too much visible. The distance we want it really a bit visible but not too much, and the angle just stay on 90, and the spread do the spread around 22, like so. Then you can see here it has a little shadow, but it's not jumping out, but that I kind of like that, not gonna lie. Then also on the bottom one I want a drop shadow as well, and the drop shadow we can maybe take a dark orange or like what color you have, something like this. You see that it jumps out a bit. Okay, now we have the basics of the text. Now we have this little what I did is a little circle around it that really fits the whole theme. So we're gonna do that real quick. You want to make a new layer, take your elliptic tool and just make a nice simple circle, and you want to fill that in with a color that would fit your theme. So I'm going to do an orange kind of color, like so. Fill that in with Alt backspace or with the bucket tool, doesn't matter, and you want to put that below everything that you just did. Hit a Ctrl T, make it a bit smaller, like so. Turn it a bit around, make it a bit bigger. Okay, and now we're just gonna make that weird not circlish, but like that swoosh effect that I did there with the circle. Just make it fit like so. Holding Shift A, you just want to move one side of the circle. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller in total. I'm gonna turn that a bit around more. I'm gonna hold in Shift on the left side, make it a bit longer. I'm gonna stretch that out a bit. Okay, I'm gonna shift in here, shift in there. Okay, we're almost getting there. I think that looks pretty nice. Now we just want what we don't want to do is just double click, move the fill opacity and put a stroke on there, like so. And that's really what I did there, but I'm going to do it on the inside. Okay, and I'm going to do a lighter color from the outside and then a darker color on the inside. So we're going to duplicate that again. Going to make it a bit smaller, like so. Like so. You can yeah. Okay, then you want to double click that as well, go to stroke and change that color again. I'm going to do a lighter color, like so. Okay, then we're going to do another duplicate, Ctrl J, then we want to make it smaller again. Shift here and shift there. Okay, double click there, change the color again. I'm going to change it to more, so yeah, something like this. Okay, I think that looks pretty nice. And we want to merge those layers, selecting the first one, holding in Shift, selecting the last one, and then Ctrl E. Then what we want to do is Ctrl T and go to skew, and then we want to maybe skew them a bit more, like so. Okay, then we want to hit Ctrl T and turn them a bit around. Okay, and now we want to fill in the, like we still have the background coming in through. I want to fill that color in with maybe a white or a gray or a purple or what fits your theme that you're going for. I'm going to do a white, see how that looks. Going to below the layer. I think a white fits. I don't know. Yeah, it really fits. Then what I did is I changed the right color and the left color. So what you want to do there is just, I'm going to merge these two layers. Ctrl J, hit a hue and saturation and do a clipping mask on top of the duplicate, and you can change the color to something that fits your theme. So I'm going for a purple. I'm going to take the brush with a black color and I'm going to select this white area and just going to color in the bottom side like so, and bit right there. And you can see now the right side, the right on the top, is being colored in, and then the bottom side isn't. And you can also see that I've put some strokes above it. Now how you want to do that, you can do it, I'm just going to merge all these layers together. Ctrl J that again, move it on top, and I'm just going to take the magic wand tool, going to remove the inside, and I'm going to remove this one as well with the magic wand tool. And I'm going to take my brush like so. I'm going to make it a bit bigger because it was like on one, and I'm just going to erase this part. Okay, and then I'm going to lower the opacity a bit so I can see where the lines go on top of the text like so. I'm going to erase that. Okay, you want to do the same thing, just look, and if you want to put the opacity button up again, you can see where you erased the parts. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see now it's beginning to fade away too much. Okay, I think that is pretty good. Now then you want to brush away all the other parts like so, and then you have the same effect what I have on this one. So then you want to do it on the other side, erase a part like so. I'm going to lower the opacity a bit, then erase a part from the text. Okay, like so, and then erase, maybe erase something like this, could maybe do. Then what you also can do is put some flares on top of it and some other things. So what you want to do is go down to my store, to my PayHip, and go find the process pack. So once you have the process pack, open that up in Photoshop. There you go, you load that up in Photoshop, and then you want to go to lens flares. Once you have been in lens flares, you want to pick the first lens flare you find, this little orange one. Okay, I want to put that on top of everything that you just did. If you don't like the color, you can press Ctrl U, and then you have the option to change the color. So I'm going to make it a bit less visible, but I can't really see it, so I'm going to put it there. I'm going to make the saturation a bit less. I'm going to change the color to a more orangey kind of color. There you go. And there you see on top of the thing is pretty nice. Now what I do is I make it a bit smaller for sure, and I put some lens flares right there, like right, maybe a bit lower, right there. Okay, and then you want to put that on some spots, not everywhere though, but just put it on some spots, and that really spices up your text. What I've done then, go back to the process pack, go to lens flares, and go search for this little light ball. Put that on top of everything, change that color to whatever you want by hitting Ctrl U, and I'm going to change it to a more darker orange. There you go. I'm just going to put that on top of something like so. Ctrl J that again. I'm going to put that on the right as well, and Ctrl J that again. I'm going to put that in the middle like so. I'm going to merge those two together, put it on the screen, and lower the opacity as well. I think this fits the theme, I guess. I'm going to make a new layer above the background. I'm going to take your brush, make it a bit bigger, and go for a normal black and color in the bottom. Then you want to do white and just color in the top. And then you also want to lower the opacity of that. Now what you want to do is merge everything that you just did. Okay, with the background. So Ctrl J, Ctrl E. So everything is together and merged. So what you want to do then, of course, is what I do as always, Ctrl J again, and go to filter, camera raw filter. And that way we pop up the colors way more. And if you don't know how to do camera raw filter, no worries, I have some presets that I made in my presets pack in the PayHip, and you want to select one of those presets that I think that looks nice. Okay, there we go. Then what I did as well, I'm going to put a filter, a noise filter on that. I think it just has a nice little texture on it. You don't have to do that, but I think it fits for that old kind of look. Then I'm going to merge them again, Ctrl J, double click the first layer, and then remove the G of the RGB channels, and I'm going to move the up layer a bit to the right, and then I have this little glitch effect that I really like on everything. So that is it. That's what I did to create this nice little logo. I've done some other parts, but this is just me simplifying the tutorial. I think this is a great tutorial. If you want to spice up your logo, you can do this with your own logo. Yeah, just put your logo there. I think that will really fit as well. You can do this with your own name. It doesn't have to be Japanese as well. You can really pop out your logo. If you do this, please let me know. tag me on Twitter saying I used Express tutorial. I really like what you guys make with my tutorials. I think this is a nice tutorial, and I will gladly want to see what you guys make with it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like of course, and join the Discord. We're almost hitting that 600 member on the Discord server. Great community if you want to ask something. If you have any questions about the video, always people online to help you with your problems. So leave a like, follow me on Twitter, starting to post there more on the well as well. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.